name's Jesse. You guys are watching The Boss Garage.
Previously on the Silverado build, we polished under the hood, went to splash some paint on the bottom, found rotten cab corners, pulled the box, welded in new cab corners, painted it black, painted the grill, painted the tailgate, and put on our DeBossGarage.com stickers. This week, we're going to build a gauge cluster, custom airbox, and something else. Stay tuned.
So I just came back from the wreckers and found a nice intake pipe off a International, I think, with a big ass N14 in it, and found a nice 4-inch pipe that kind of curls a little bit, just slightly, around the alternator. Nice for free. Now I'm going to build an air box here, and I've seen one online that had a glass top on it, so I kind of want to copy that. So this is actually the back off of a cab that I had laying out back, so this is just stainless. So even though my tape boss records 3, I have to draw this on there and then figure out how I'm going to fold this and lip it over. The intake pipe will be coming right there, and then air filter would sit here, shiny on the bottom, clear at the top, open on this end so that it catches the air from the fender. So I'm going to cut this out, bend it up, and try to get a reasonably priced air box for a custom Chevy. So here we go. Thought it was stainless, turns out it's aluminum. I'm gonna get a mask. Polish that before I just close it in, make it nice and shiny. So some bends I just can't do, so just take a piece of square tubing and then bend it manually, I guess. I don't know, I'm just making stuff as I go. So the plans changed a little bit. Mainly just this end piece. Tried to make it too complicated with the angle going up over the fender there, right down there. Got a little tricky. So just start over, cut it off. Sometimes I try to make things more complicated than they have to be. So this would have been just nice, quick little bends, and then screw it to the side. Got to go on an angle up and on the fender here. Still catches the factory holes to let the air in. And so I made a template just out of cardboard, butt up against, so I can make my 3/4 inch bends around the outside. Grab the air filter, throw it in. I got a nice little custom air box. So here we go. So you gotta drill the holes before you cut it, otherwise you shatter the plexiglass. Third time's the charm. Yep, third time's the charm. Hey, don't get that on camera. This is my second piece. I'm smarter than I look. When you're cutting the plastic, don't make one solid cut straight across because you'll start burning the plexiglass, but just make multiple short runs over top and you get a nice clean edge without having to clean anything. So, probably gonna get some comments over, well, this is just gonna get dirty and look like shit after a while anyway. You know what, I don't care, because I think this is cool. But what we might do is get like a DeBoss sticker and put that here or something cool, and then sandblast it so the rest is already dirty and then the DeBoss is still clear, and then you don't notice it as much. But for now, I'm just gonna peel off this plastic and bolt it down.
This guy Rich does like stickers.
Don't like, it's not a sticker. Because you take the sticker off and you've got clear plexiglass underneath. It's the cleanest it'll ever be. It's already dirty. It's staticky, that's why. Alright, some screws in it. That's it. So, I got a couple questions about my plate that I made. This is actually a buddy of mine, Josh, made this for me. He's got a CNC machine, and all it does is it took 14 hours on the CNC, I guess. So we just cut out a plate, copied the Dodge one. So we took a picture of it. Then the picture, he just changed the Dodge to Chevrolet, the USA to Dunville, and then we added a little touch of the Boss Custom on the front. This was originally on the truck. I don't know. You guys think I should paint the? It's hard to buff this because it goes in deep, and I don't really want to spend hours and hours on it. But wondering if I should paint the Chevrolet and the Cummins turbo, maybe the Chevy red and the turbo diesel black. That's how the Dodge did it, I think. But yeah, if you guys want one, it is completely custom. You can order it, I guess, but they're definitely not cheap. He's a buddy of mine, and it was more or less just to more of a favor and experiment for him. I got a bent stud, so I gotta bend that back before it drops on nice. But other than that, I'm gonna polish this pipe here yet on the bottom. It's aluminum off the Duramax, and then get a new rad hose because this one's kind of punky. And then we're just about there. So I'm happy how the airbox turned out. Nice custom touch. I seen one company with a glass top, and I thought, well, I can copy that for a lot less money than what they're asking for. So yeah, it's coming together really nice. Getting excited. It was a nice job to kind of pick away at because a lot of stuff is happening at the Boss Garage right now. A lot of people coming in and out, and a lot of big discussions. So I got to kind of clear my head. And rather than going on a job and screwing something up, polishing and just making a box, and that's kind of good for my head to relieve some stress and think about what's going on. And I can come and go as I like. So I'm going to keep doing that with this truck until she's done. We're almost there. Hopefully have a road trip planned for it as well, because a lot of things are happening. So here we go. After you've driven your GM for a while, it starts to get annoying when your door doesn't close, and that is because of your door pins. So you don't want to see this. So these doors weren't originally with this truck, but the pins are still wore. So this is actually off an 06 half ton, but this is in our 3/4 ton Cummins conversion. So all you need to do is go to your parts store and get one of these pin kits, reasonably cheap. You need a grinder to cut off the old pins, and just a hammer and a punch to punch in the new ones. And it doesn't take very long at all. So here we go. There's usually only one plug that goes for your speakers and your remote controls, and you can find that wire going through the door, which just goes into your fuse panel. Just unclip it and pull it out. To take the door off, just pull this little boot off on the inside of your door post. Pull off your kick panel, which goes around your hood release, and just pull it out this way. Follow the wire up into your fuse panel and disconnect it at the very top here, and all the electric for your door is removed. You need a 10mm socket to remove the bolt here and the bolt right here. It helps if you have your window down, sorry, if you've already disconnected your wires. The door is heavy, but you can just lift it off the hinges now, and works better with two people. If you're by yourself, then use your knee, and there's your door. These pins are mushroomed over on the bottom, so the only way to get them off is to cut them. I like these thin little wheels for a grinder. Make sure that you cover up your fender and your interior for sparks if you're going to take them off. It's these bushings that wear out. And there's not much left of this one. And there's also not a lot left of this one. So pop them out as well. Don't forget which way your holder went. Only goes one way. Don't only do one door at a time, so you can always look at the other door and see which way that actually went. There's two different pins you get in the kit. One with the holder at the bottom, and one with these little serrated things at the top. So the one with the serrades at the bottom go in the upper hole. The ones with the serrades on right underneath this washer go in the bottom hole. So this little C-clip goes right under the top here. And then the bottom one gets a washer and a clip. And the same goes for their bottom hinge. So there is no other real adjustment on these doors, unfortunately. The older doors allowed you to move the hinges forward and backward and on the door. These are spot welded to the door post. And what happens if the wind catches your door and flings the door open, what it does is it can twist this whole door post. The result of that is wind noise in your ear driving you nuts. What I did with this one when I first got it is actually brazed the hinge to the side of the door panel right here. Figured that would give it a little bit of extra strength, but on a windy day, just be mindful of your doors. And that's all there is to it. Grab your friend to help you with the door, or make sure your medical insurance is up for a hernia surgery later. Try not to scratch it. Drop in. There you go. And put your bolt back in, and all there is to it. This door still has a little bit of play, probably because the pin should have been replaced about 1,000 door closes ago, but that is much better than it was. So once we get the truck running, we'll make sure there's no wind noise in our ear, and good as new. Good for another 10,000 opening and closings. Here we go. Beautiful. Nice job, Gavin. Warmed it up nice with the torch. So originally this came with a Cummins turbo on the bottom, but I think that was just too much for that spot. So I'll put the turbo right here. On the hood, and then leave the Cummins down by the hybrid, because I didn't want to lose the hybrid sign. So because yeah, it's a hybrid now. So the triple gauge pod for the Tahoe is $300. This is only, I spent $160 on 2 full sets, one for the Mercedes, one for here. I don't need 3 on the Silverado because I have a standard transmission, so I want to build the gauge pod into a custom holder for my GPS here. So what I did was just the holder, I got rid of it and just put some 1/2-inch threaded rod on there with a nut inside there, just catches a little lip, and then just weld it to a little piece of body metal. Ignore the top welds, I forgot to turn my gas on, and then just put 1 rivet in the back so I could pivot this until I found the right spot. Basically I need it as high as it'll possibly go right there. Then I'm just going to use some duct tape and some fiberglass matting and build a nice 1-piece shield all the way around it with working GPS in there, because I'm horrible with directions. So that should turn out pretty sick if it works good here. Then I'll do it for the Mercedes as well. It has a triple, but I need to cover in the outside of it because you'll see the back of that through the windshield because it's such a small pillar. So we'll do that. Here we go. So I put a layer of duct tape around the outside with the sticky side up, and now I'll start putting my duct tape down, trying to blend it into the pillar. Once the fiberglass is on there, then we can cut access to the back to get at the gauges if we have to. We really shouldn't have to unless they break. But yeah, we'll see what my duct taping job looks like. Now when you're done duct taping, it should look something like this. Now you can stop watching here and make lots of comments on how I should have done it different, or you can wait until I'm done, watch the rest of the video, and we can go from there. So if you can imagine that a little bit, we'll lay the fiberglass on top of that, and you won't ever see the duct tape leaving a little strip all the way along where the fiberglass can still mesh. And we'll probably just tuck it around the corner there. We're gonna have to just trim that a little bit on the other side, and that will look very nice when it's done. So fiberglassing, messy, messy, messy. You need some resin, some hardener. The instructions are on the can on how much to mix it. If you don't add enough hardener, it takes too long to dry, and if you add too much, it dries too quickly. Pretty simple. You need some brush, some surgical gloves, and definitely a mask. I put one layer on top of the plastics, then laid my matting on top, which I pre-cut, and then just take a brush and put another thick layer on top of that, and then let it dry. Get ready to ruin some brushes, get ready to make a mess, but it is pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it. So once that's done drying, you're gonna have to do a couple layers on there. You see it's still kind of punky. So if you want now, if it's swelled a little bit because of the duct tape, take a slit, just cut it and drop it down. So the next layer will go nice and tight, and then just trim off all the extra there around the outside. And do that a couple times, and just like that, no problem. So that turned out pretty cool. I'm happy with that. We still get at the tab to push the GPS off so I can pull it off and then run the cord and everything behind. One thing I would do different though is the duct tape, the heat, because it was a span, the drying of the fiberglass resin kind of warped it a little bit. So next time I would, for you guys, if you're gonna do it, just take something like the lid of any container really, and just bridge the gap, and I think that should keep it straighter, and then still duct tape over top of that. So got a couple small air pockets, not a big deal, just hit those with the grinder, just take a couple of the high spots off. It's probably 2 hours work, but I think that'll look pretty sick in the Silverado. So here we go. So at this point, it's probably a good idea to pop it in to make sure it all still works. Take a look at it from the outside, through the windshield, make sure that nothing's hitting. I've taken rivets and just riveted the fiberglass to the actual plastic molding, and really the screen can't rotate much, it's kind of stuck in the housing there. So make sure that that's level, and I'm happy with that. So we can put another layer of filler on the very top, and then get a little bit creative with it. Put some rocker guard on it and paint it. She's ready to go. All right. Pull the GPS out, we'll tape up the lenses again, and then see a little bit of filler. You're gonna stir your Bondo until it's nice and creamy. I usually grab whatever's closest. Today it was an Allen key, I think 4mm, works perfect. I'll clean the shop. Do you think I can find my drywall paddle? And of course Aaron went home, so I have no idea where it is. This old piece of cardboard and whatever. It's not a new car or an old car. It's not a car. It's a pillar that we're gonna cover in rocker guard and paint flat black. So this is the gauge cluster with 2 coats on it. I just need to touch up a few spots. I got a rivet showing through, a couple low spots there. Not a big deal. One more quick layer skim coat, some more sanding, and then we're ready for paint. So I think I'm gonna paint the chrome bezels there. Gonna paint them black as well, because there's no other chrome inside the cab there, so that's kind of ugly. But pretty happy how that turned out. Yeah, one more, here we go. So that's it with 3 coats. You can see the fiberglass is just starting to come through in a couple spots there. A couple imperfections there, but I think the rocker guard will cover that with the texture. And then the bottom here isn't very pretty, but that lays right on top of the dash. Nobody will ever see that. So I can spend more time on it. I just don't have to, so I won't. Spray some rocker guard and some paint, and we're laughing. Here we go. I remember I had some rocker guard at one point, and luckily I still got it. We made that horrible Patreon video where I sprayed it all on the side of an old GM. But hey, look, it's my drywall paddle and my paper for Bondo, now that I'm done with Bondoing. So I stuck that on there, but I'm not feeling it, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to paint over it. But I was thinking, if you do have the room and you got the fiberglass underneath there, you can engrave something out and then put lights in behind it, and that would show really nice through the windshield. But I'm just going to paint over this one. I think it's starting to get tacky now, so yeah, off to the paint booth. So the rocker guard is dry. You can see the nice texture that you get. Almost looks like it's a factory. I thought I could paint it, but it's still a little tacky there. I just left my thumbprint there. So I gotta hit that spot again, let it dry for a few hours, and I gotta come back and paint it in the middle of the night, I guess. Alright, and that is the finished product. We'll put a little bit of silicone all the way around after I make sure that it works, it turns on properly. And then we'll hook up some wires and try her out. So here we go. So I bet you wanted to see everything working, and so do I, but I had to steal the battery out of my truck to put it in a customer's vehicle because theirs was no good. And just a loaner, but it's cold out. I'm in my pajamas. I finished painting that at like 1 in the morning, and I put bald tires on the Tahoe to do burnouts at Motorama with Steve Darnell. So with all the snow, I gotta go grab some breakfast, get the girls ready, and then throw my winter tires on before we drive to Toronto and hang out there for the day for Motorama. So you'll have to stick around for another episode to see that. Here we go. Hey guys, in case you're interested, we do have some more swag for sale. This is actually the editor. He was pissed off because we had that nice Fleet line, and I got him to paint the DeBoss garage on the car and kind of use it as a showpiece, and then somebody drove by 2 weeks later and wanted to buy the car, so he sold it. Sold it for more than I paid for it, but he took the DeBoss that he actually drew on the side of the car and put it on a t-shirt. So if you guys want this, head over to the merch store and pick one up. I'm going to be wearing one soon too. And here we go. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because you never know what you're going to see next week on DeBoss Garage. If you like what you see, there's a lot of stuff happening to help support the channel. And remember, if you're not filthy, you're not rich.